This is G&T Reviews. Welcome to tonight. Tonight we have
Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, Dimension Force.
9 cards per pack, and again, gotta tear it out.
Give me a... You always have to go like this, and then just like that. And it should just... It was put in upside... Okay. It was put in upside down.
In keeping with that theme, I'll open it upside down.
And of course it does want to open cleanly.
Of course not. Alrighty, here we go.
Okay.
When you're ready. And here we go.
Oh, a tuna. Pendulum.
But it's a 0.
Which is...
You gotta have one
decent.
at each end, so a 0 is pretty decent.
Hmm.
Predaplant.
Predaplant. Weren't you looking for those? Why? Way back when.
Buffolacia. You try to pretend to be Latin, are they? Attack 0, defense 0. But it's 0. So in the pendulum, during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 dark fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. Then as a monster, here's Plant Pendulum effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard or added to your extra deck face up because it was used as a fusion material, you can add 1 face up Dark Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, except this fella. You can only use this card once per turn. So here's a Dark Pendulum. Okay. Heroic Challenger Morningstar. He's an Earth type of 4. His attack is 1500, defense of 1300, warrior effect.
And his effect is, if you control 2 or more warrior monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is no more special summoned, you can add 1 heroic spell trap from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard and your life points are 500 or less, you can special summon this card but negate its effects. You can only use each effect of Heroic Challenger Morningstar once per turn.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. I can think of a few decks that would work in.
Okay, Predaplant by Blissip. The Dark type. Attack 0, defense 1900. Plant effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Predaplant monster from your deck to your hand, except this fella. If a monster with a Predator counter is on the field, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Predaplant by Slip once per turn.
I had not heard of a Predator counter before.
Have to check that out.
Yeah.
Surprise Chain Spell card. Quick effect.
Quick effect, yeah. Activate only as a chain link 2 or higher. Apply the following effects depending on chain link number. What?
Chain link number of this card. In sequence. Skip over any that do not apply.
You cannot activate this card if multiple cards effects with the same name are in that chain. 2 or more. Activate the top. Activate? Yeah.
Excavate.
Sorry.
It's so tiny.
Yeah. Excavate the top cards of your deck equal to the chain link number of this card. Then place them on the top of your deck in any order. Okay. 3 or more, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. 4 or more, draw 1 card. You can only activate 1 surprise chain per turn.
Okay.
Wow, that is tiny. Why is it so tiny?
I've got my reading glasses on. I'm still struggling to read that.
Maybe I should get
Heroic Envoy. Spell card. Okay. Add 1 heroic monster from your deck to your hand. If your life points are 500 or less, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 heroic card in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Heroic Envoy once per turn. Branded Loss. Spell card.
And target 1 monster your opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck, and 1 fusion monster you control. Shuffle them into the deck or decks. Also, during the end phase of this turn, each player can special summon 1 fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Elbaz? As material for their own extra deck. Okay. You can only activate 1 branded loss per turn. I have no idea how to use that, but okay.
Backup team. Trap card. Draw cards equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. Then place cards from your hand on the bottom of the deck in any order, equal to the number of cards you drew. During the end phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, while this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use 1 backup team effect per turn, and only once that turn. I really don't see the point to this card.
Yeah, me neither. I can't really think of anything.
Sometimes they do that. They make cards and I just don't see how it's meant to play, how it could be useful.
Whoa.
Right.
Yeah.
Light Law Medium. She's a 2. She's a light. She's a fairy effect with an attack of 400, defense of 300.
At the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can target any number of attack position monsters your opponent controls. While this card is in your monster zone, those monsters must attack this turn.
This card this turn.
Oh, this card this turn, sorry. If able. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's attack position monster, you can negate the attack. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the original attack of that opponent's monster.
So basically, they have to attack her, get attacked with their own staff, and they get their life points taken off half of what their attacking monster is. She's playable.
Yes.
She might seem weak until you read her effect, and then she's not so weak.
Yeah, that could be very handy.
Okay. Sunlit Sentinel. Ooh. He's a 6. So an attack of 2300, defense of 1500, warrior effect, and he's Earth.
You can set this card from your hand if your spell and trap zone has a spell. Once per turn during the standby phase of the next turn after this set card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card, then destroy all cards your opponent controls in this card's column.
So you can either place him down as a monster, or you can place him down in your spell trap zone.
No, what he's saying
Yeah,
is...
you can. You can set this card from your hand to your spell and trap zone as a spell.
Oh.
So you can place it down as a spell or in your monster zone. So if you want to eliminate somebody else's spell or trap...
Yeah. That could be very...
I like it.
Yeah, that could be
It's
very
a
useful.
6. So what did we get? We ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4.
And a half.
4 monsters, 1 pendulum. I'd say 2 of them are very playable. I like these 2.
This one's very niche.
They're very niche if you're into pendulums. We've got 1 trap who's useless.
Yeah.
3 spell cards.
One of them I kind of understand. The other one I have no idea.
Unless you've got other heroic cards.
Which we got. We got 1.
Oh yeah, they go together. Okay. Those 2 go together. Alrighty. It's only playable if you got others. Alright, so how would you rate this deck? This is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dimensions Force, which comes in a little cardboard packet.
3.5, 4 roughly. I can see some of the uses of some of it. Because I could really structure a deck around. But
I see 2 nice cards. Unless you got 2 that go together that are dependent. But
yeah.
I'd give it 3.5 out of 5. Alright. Thanks for joining us. As always, if you want any cards, leave a comment in the bottom and we'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.